Go ahead and share. Get going. Hey everybody, welcome to our Wednesday night Epic Empire team call. Thank you guys so much for, I'm like in the dark now. Thank you guys so much for jumping on and taking time out of your evening and probably away from your family for, oh, here we go. For this time to pour into yourself, into your business, into an opportunity to grow and learn. And I know a lot of us are going to get so much valuable information. Like I said, I've been watching her for, I'll share that in a minute, but I've been watching her for a while, and she's an inspiration to me and makes my brain just turn in creativity. So I'm super pumped to hear her message. But let's go over some of our September shout outs real quick. Announcements and recognition. All right, first up, Nicola, you want to go over some of these announcements?
Okay, so the first one is that Wednesday, the team call for September 18th is canceled due to the diamond retreat. So there will not be any diamond team call for next Wednesday. The second one is any coach or customer who purchases a challenge pack of 160 or higher or completion pack at 130 will receive a promo code for the work VIP, and that's $10 off. So that's super important because the work is going to be coming out September 30th. This is your last chance to get $20 off challenge packs and completion packs. So they will not be offering the $20 off after this month. And then, like I said before, 6 weeks for the work is coming. The VIP launch starts Monday, September 30th. And then for the customers that don't purchase VIP, it'll come out spring 2020. That's it.
Awesome. I think we have a line that needs to be muted. I'm so pumped about this new product launch, and I know some of the tools that we're going to learn tonight is going to help us launch this product and have fun with it. And ooh, now I'm really bright. Have fun with it and just find more creative ways to reach our audiences and to share our message. So going on to how our teams are being built, let's see what we got. So we have 13 new boss babes in the past 11 days. It's so fun going in and seeing all of these new welcome pictures. You guys, if we welcome a new coach on our team page, please, 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 even if you're a brand new coach and you're like, I don't even have any right to be saying welcome because I just got here too. I want you guys to welcome each other. It's so like inviting and warming and celebratory when you jump on, you're like, oh my gosh, my picture just got shared. And there's like 13 girls who just said, we're so happy you're here. Welcome to the team. So our like, what's it called? Code of ethic is when somebody gets introduced to the team, you welcome them with a warm welcome. You put a fun emoji, you can put a fun GIF, whatever you need to put to make them feel special and welcome. All right, team builders so far this month. I know it's the beginning of the month, but we've already got people rolling. We're getting close to halfway. It is September 11th. That's crazy. All right, so we've got Victoria with one new babe added to her team, Mallory with one, Megan Bankston with one, Morgan Blair with one, Haley Huell with one, Holly Garvey, myself, and Sue with one new coach, Sue Bonifer. I might be messing up the last name, Bonifer. And then with two coaches added to her team is Vanessa Stike, and leading the pack, Miss Kelly King. I saw King and just like me. Kelsey King with 3 new babes added to her team. Awesome sauce. All right, Success Club. Woot, woot. Let's see what we got here. I gotta move my little speaker thing so I can actually see the other side of the page. There we go. On the board for the month of September, we have Lauren Anderson, Jessica Morris, Tia, I want to say Thea every time, Mallory, Samantha, Rachel, Melinda, Callista, and Victoria. And let's see what's on the other side. We have Haley, Natalie, Morgan, Kelly King, Holly Garvey, Blasia Rivet, Kelsey King, Laura Fadley, Jill Blankenship, and Lindsay Duran. Now, just a little shout out to Laura Fadley. She just had I don't even know the technical term, so I might butcher it, but she just had IVF done and had an embryo implanted like today. So she might have just like got herself pregnant today, which is really cool. And she's already on the board. So congratulations, Laura. We really hope everything works out and we have a new baby in Epic Empire. Success Club 5, leading the pack, Miss Kelly Batchelor and Ashton Fox, 2 of my like IG idols on our team because they're pretty awesome at their IG stories and their content. All right, so now let's go into the nitty gritty of the call. Super pumped. So little backstory. I don't know if you guys know this, and some of you guys are newer, but about 2 years ago, I got really bored with Facebook, and I was like, you know what? It's all politics. It's all like people sharing depressing videos, all kinds of stuff. And so I was like, maybe I'll kind of look over here and see what's going on. Actually, my babysitter told me that Facebook was for old people. So I was like, all right, that's cool. So I started playing around with IG and fell in love with stories. And actually the coaching network as a whole was completely not on stories. Like nobody was on stories. And I think I tried to sell challenge packs into my challenge group one weekend because Carl was doing this huge push where if you won, you got like a present from him. And I'm a competitive person, so I was like, okay. So I utilized stories to sell these challenge packs. And I hit SC40, which is 20 challenge packs in one evening from stories. And I was like, what is this? This is amazing. And this is before I had Swipe Up or anything, right? So I immediately messaged the CEO of our company, Carl Deichler, and I was like, yo, like what this over here is where it's at. That old way of doing it is not where it's at anymore. Like that's infomercial, that's Blockbuster. Like there's a new way of selling and it's over here. And he's like, I don't even know what that is. So I had to teach and explain literally to the network what stories was and how it was so valuable to being able to share your message. So I start researching and I'm like, okay, I need help because I don't really know what I'm doing. And I like to have an example of what looks good. And I don't even know how I came across you, Alex. I'm so thankful I did because little does the network of Beachbody of 400,000 coaches who honestly look to our team for an example of IG stories came from me like watching you and learning from you. So, and anytime I get to speak on a team call, a lot of times I'll drop your name and listen, this is the girl that I follow. And sometimes I don't even understand graphics and I like look at her and I'll screenshot it and like, okay, how did she do that? Okay, that looks good. And so I've been learning from you for the past 2 years. I did take Grand Slam course, which was amazing. But I'm going to shut up now and give you the floor. If you guys have any questions, please post them in the chat and we can go over them at the end of the call. If you want to ask it yourself, like we're totally informal, you can ask at the end of the call as well. All right? You got the floor, girlfriend.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for the fun intro. I love it. I love it. I love it. So today, basically what I have planned for you guys is a fun presentation where I'm going to be walking you through what I like to call the 10 Instagram story tips, tricks, and hacks for the busy entrepreneur. I think you guys are going to love it. Every single time I do this presentation, people are like, oh my God, I never knew that. I never knew that. So I'm going to be walking you through that presentation today. At the very end of the presentation, I'm going to be taking all of your questions. So if you have any questions, if it's relevant to what I'm talking about in the moment, please feel free to use the chat box and just ask whatever your question is. If it's something that's a little bit more specific or off topic, then save it until the end. But for those of you who are here, I would love to just know where in the world are you joining me from. Use the chat box. You're gonna know that like I'm a very two-way conversation type of person. I don't like to just be like a talking head. I like to have two-way conversations. So definitely, I want to see you in the comment box. If you have any aha moments or anything, I want to see it in the comment box. Okay, so we've got Melinda from California, Jitana, Cape, I'm not even gonna be able to say that correctly. How do you say that? Canaveral?
Cape Canaveral, Florida.
Arkansas, we got Jessica, who's in South Carolina, Ariana, who's in Texas. Okay, so we've got a lot of Americans. We've got one Canadian, South Korea, that's awesome. Los Angeles, South Carolina, Arlington. Okay, awesome. So you guys are all over the place. Welcome. Let's get started. I'm gonna share my screen so that you can see exactly what I have in store for you today. Okay, can you guys see my screen? If you can, now's the time to let me know in the comment section, in the little chat box. Let me know if you can see it. Let me know. I think there's like a little bit of a delay. Okay, so Brittany said yes, yes, yes. Okay, cool. So let's jump in. So today, I'm going to get excited because I'm going to be walking you through 10 Instagram story tips, tricks, and hacks for the busy entrepreneur. So just to introduce myself, my name is Alex Beadon, and I am an Instagram story expert. And I am the creator of On Purpose with Alex Beadon. That's my podcast. Y'all have to check it out. It was so funny because I had a YouTube channel, then I went into podcasting, and now I absolutely love it. I'm also an online business coach, and I'm a digital marketing strategist. So before we start, guys, I really want to encourage you to switch off your phone. I want you to close down all of your other tabs, get rid of any distractions. Tell your husband, dude, I'm going to be gone for the next hour. Do not disturb me. I want you to invest the time, effort, and energy into this because my goal is that at the end of this hour together, you are completely transformed in the way that you not only create Instagram stories, but the way that you show up within your business and the way that you use your voice online to create deeper connections with ideal clients, so that at the end of the day, you're building your know, like, and trust factor, because we all know that people buy from people that they know, like, and trust, especially in your industry. I always get asked if this can be related to MLMs and to Beachbody coaches, and it's like, people are buying from people, right? Like, there's nothing that differentiates you except for you. So stories are super important. So I want to see you have a transformation today. In order to do that, please give this the attention that it deserves, okay? And then, of course, if you have any questions or you want to connect after the webinar, you can find me on Instagram at Alex Beadon. Ignore the hashtag because I don't use the hashtag, but at Alex Beadon, you can find me there. I answer almost all of my DMs. I'm like gearing up for a launch right now. I have a free challenge actually that I'm going to tell you guys about. It starts on Monday. It's called Double Down on Your DMs. And thousands of people, like right now we have like 5,000 people signed up, and we still have more people signing up before Monday. So my DMs are a little bit hectic right now, but I'll keep an eye out for you guys. If you let me know that you came from this group, I will be sure to reply. Okay, so tell me in the chat box, guys, because you know I told you I'm a two-way conversation kind of gal. Have you ever wanted to create Instagram stories that are quick and easy and instantly help you stand out from the crowd? It better be a yes from all of you. And then I also want to know, do you ever feel like your industry is too saturated and that you'll never be able to grow a fan base of your own? Because this is something that I hear from so many people, especially in Beachbody. It's just like, there's like thousands of us doing the exact same thing, selling the exact same thing, and how do I stand out? And so this is a fear that so many people have. And then, does this sound like you? You want to be able to post Instagram stories without feeling like you're speaking to no one and wasting your time. You've tried to put yourself out there and get engagement, but nothing seems to work. You just wish you could find a way to confidently post Instagram stories that feels fast, easy, and different. So I've got good news for you guys, because that's what we are learning today. Today, I'm going to walk you through step 1, how to create great Instagram stories without it taking over your life. And actually, I'm really curious if you guys could leave a comment in the chat box and let me know, like, what is the biggest concern or challenge that you have when it comes to posting Instagram stories? Let me know, like, what's the biggest problem that you have or the biggest challenge? Let me know in the comment box, because one of the things I hear a lot is, I don't want Instagram stories to take over my life. Like, I want it to fit in seamlessly, right? So I'm gonna give you guys my big tip for that today. I'm also going to share with you my fail-proof in-app hacks that will get you the most from Instagram stories without ever leaving the app. I'm going to talk to you guys about the 3 essential apps that make storytelling easier, faster, and more impressive. This step is a little bit more advanced. It's for those of you guys who want to have a little bit more creative power. You're going to love this. Step 4, we've got how to quickly and easily improve the quality of your Instagram stories with just a few extra steps. And then we've got step 5. And this is like instant, okay? The one simple change that you can make that will instantly increase your story views. Y'all are gonna love this tip. Okay, so let me go into the chat box and just see what you guys are saying about your biggest stumbling blocks when it comes to Instagram stories. So Melinda said, yes, I'm tired of only having family and friends watch. Melinda said, time. Tia said, I think it's Tia, not Thea, said, getting them to communicate back. Whitney said, time consuming. Lauren said, quickly editing things, getting responses. Kelly said, putting a darn box around the entire screen with the highlight tool. You mean creating a border? I'm gonna walk you through that today. Feeling like I'm talking to myself, inviting people. Samantha said, I only have a very small amount of time before and after work. Rachel said, not getting interaction back. Yolanda said, I feel awkward. Laura said, interaction. Lily said, interaction. Laura said, take action on my call to action that's not baby related. Okay, so I'm getting a lot of you guys are talking about interaction and engagement and just feeling like you're kind of talking to yourself. So everything I'm going to share with you today is going to help you boost that engagement. And then I'm going to share something with you that's just like next freaking level at the very end of this presentation. Okay, so stick through till the end, and I've got the solution for you. Okay, so before we dive in, I thought it was really important that I share my story with you quickly so that you know how I got here and how I learned all of these Instagram story tips, tricks, and hacks. Okay, because I'm sure there's some of you who've never heard of me before. I just think it's important to know who you're learning from. So before Instagram stories, I was actually using YouTube to build my know, like, and trust factor with my audience. And I'd love to know how many of you guys currently use YouTube as a place to post content. Let me know in the chat box, is that you? Are you posting content to YouTube, yes or no? So I actually had over 30,000 subscribers on YouTube. I had over 1.9 million views, and over a period of 7 years, I created more than 200 videos. Okay, so all of you, I'm not seeing a single one of you who use YouTube. Good. Just keep listening to what I'm about to tell you. So I had 30,000 subscribers, almost 2 million views, 7 years of creating 200 videos. I was doing well on YouTube, right? But nothing about it felt maintainable. It was exhausting. For every single video, I had to create an outline for the video. I had to do my hair and makeup. I had to find an outfit that looked different from the last outfit. I had to set up the camera, the lights, the microphone. I had to make sure it was framed properly. I had to deal with surprise setbacks and then refilm. Guys, I can't tell you how many times I would sit down to film, like my battery wasn't charged or my memory stick had run out of space. You then have to edit the video. You then have to write copy for the video. And then you upload it to social media and you have to promote it online, right? Because if you're creating videos, you want people to watch them. So maybe you can relate, because what I really wanted through my YouTube channel was to communicate my authority and make myself known in the online world. That's what we all want. We all want to be the go-to person for something, right? I wanted to build an audience of people who deeply understood and respected my work. But, and here's the big key here, I did not want to spend loads of time, effort, and energy and burn myself out in order to do so. So lucky for me, in 2013, I don't know if y'all know this, but a platform called Snapchat released a new feature called Stories, and it changed the game. How many of you guys were on Snapchat using Stories before Instagram? Yeah, I'm seeing Jatana, she's got her hands up. So back in the day, some of you will remember, it was way less romantic, right? People had no clue what stories were at all. They had no idea how to use them. And the concept of something that you post disappearing after 24 hours was like revolutionary, right? If you were creating stories back in 2013, you were really a pioneer, exploring the platform for the first time alongside everyone else. And that's exactly what I was. I was an early adopter of stories. When I started using stories, I noticed that my relationship with my audience immediately shifted. And this is after having had a YouTube channel for many, many years. Stories built my brand in a much different way than I had ever experienced on YouTube. It allowed me to have a real connection and interaction with my audience in a way that was never possible with YouTube before. Stories changed the game for the relationship with the audience and you, the brand, the business, the creator. So because instead of feeling like you're seeing this perfect glammed up version of someone that you might see on a YouTube video or on an Instagram feed post or like even on TV, they feel like they get to see the most real version of you because there you are at the other end of a mobile phone, right? What I love about stories, and this is so great for everyone who's starting their businesses, is that it levels the playing field by giving everyone the same low-tech restraints of an app and a mobile phone. Okay? Stories introduced real moments to the social media scene, giving the upper hand to those who are confident enough to share a more personal side. So not only did my relationship with my audience shift for the better, which obviously I was super happy about, but I was also able to tell my stories in a much easier way than I had ever been able to do with YouTube before. I was able to tell my stories in the moment as they came to me. I was able to tell my stories in a way that built my know, like, and trust factor with so much more momentum. And creating stories actually became my #1 way of attracting new clients and introducing them to who I am and what I do because of how effective it was. And I had a very similar experience to Jatana because I actually did a launch. I was launching an online marketing course. And I'll never forget, I went through the whole launch, and at the end, I surveyed everyone, and I was like, how did you hear about this? What made you decide to sign up? And the majority of them said stories. And at the time, I was only on Snapchat, right? And to me, I was like, oh my God. Normally, people say YouTube, and now everyone's saying stories. That's amazing. So not only was it effective for my business and my profitability, but it was also effective for my brand. The fact that I have built such a strong brand by simply posting good content to my Instagram stories has allowed me to create an audience of people who genuinely care about my business because they care about me as a person. It's like I always have an epic community right by my side, interested in what I'm up to because they genuinely care about me and my journey. What I've realized over the last 5 years of creating and sharing my stories with the world is that stories are an excellent communication tool, and you can choose to use them in a way that suits you and your lifestyle. You do not, and this is really important, guys, because I think a huge misconception people have about stories is that you have to share every single aspect of your life. You do not have to share every single aspect of your life or document every moment in order to create stories that cause people to care. But you do have to share in a way that is a unique representation of who you are and what you do, and in a way that builds a solid relationship with your audience, okay? And that's what I want to talk to you guys about today. I want to help you learn how to share your journey in an easy, quick, and fun way so that you can start to experience the benefits of always having an audience who cares about who you are and what you do. And guys, I want you to imagine that. Like, I don't know how many followers you guys have. I don't know how many people watch your stories, but imagine creating the type of content that becomes so addictive that it's a part of people's everyday routine, that they check your stories every single day. That's the type of relationship that I want to encourage you to build with your audience. When I think back to 2013, when stories were first invented, it took like 2 years for Snapchat to become a thing that people were taking like half seriously. And so to set the scene, this is kind of like a gossipy thing for me to share with you, but I remember multiple prominent people in the online space saying that they couldn't understand why anyone would want to document their lives 24/7 on Snapchat. And that was the perception back then. People really looked down on Snapchat stories. And now, 3 years later, all of these people use stories every day. And I always giggle because I'm like, I remember when I watched when I read something that they posted, basically pooping on Snapchat stories, and I used to feel like, am I missing something? And now I realize, no, I was just like way ahead of the crowd. So with this short-lived form of storytelling having just hit the scene only 5 years ago, and looking at how much it has grown and developed over the last 3 years alone, I can only imagine how it's going to continue to explode. And that's why it's worth learning how to tell your story in a way that gets people hooked on your journey while simultaneously done in a way that feels good and true for you. So Lauren, you get extra bonus points for me because you have responded in the chat box to something that I've said. Yay! She said, yes, people used to think I was crazy for loving Snapchat stories so much when it first started. Exactly. So you know exactly what I'm talking about. And now everyone uses them. So I want you to imagine that feeling when you're able to confidently share Instagram stories that are actually helping you build your community. Because there's a difference between like sharing random tidbits that aren't really brand building and sharing powerful storytelling stories that are building your relationship, right? Okay, so now you're probably wondering, okay, Alex, where do I start? So let's dive in. Who's excited? If you're excited, let me know in the comment box. Woo! I'm seeing little fist pumps. I'm excited. We got Jessica, we got Jatana, we got Kelly. Yes, I'm loving it. Melinda, Lauren, amazing. Okay, so let's start with this. How to get the most out of Instagram stories without ever leaving the app. Also, guys, just so you know, I really try to stay respectful of time. I'm going to be moving through this very quickly. Is everyone going to get a replay? Yes. Okay, I'm seeing the thumbs up. So just so you guys know, you will have the replay to go over at your own pace. If you have any questions of what I'm talking about, put it in the comment box. If I'm going too quickly, just let me know. So how to get the most out of Instagram stories without ever leaving the app. Okay, so firstly, it starts with this. How to create a much better Instagram story while being more present and in the moment. This may seem obvious, but Instagram stories are there to help you tell a story. I'm amazed by how many people don't put this together. It's not just like individual little posts that you're kind of posting. They should make sense, right? So I want you to think beginning, middle, and end. When you think, and I'm just going to stop sharing for a moment so that we can connect face to face. When you think about any story that you've ever heard, think about your favorite books, think about your favorite movies. They always have a beginning, a middle, and an end, right? So that's what I want you to be thinking about is like, as you're going throughout your day, how can I make this flow and feel seamless and feel like I'm taking people on a journey instead of it just being like, oh, here's a picture of my lunch, here's a picture of my kid, here's a picture of my pretty view today. Like, it should make sense, it should flow, okay? Okay, back to sharing my screen with you, if I can. Give me one moment. Okay, we're back. Okay, so the question is, how do you tell a story every day without it taking over your life? So simple. I want you to document during the day and do not post your stories immediately, okay? That's right. I don't want you to post your stories immediately. One of the biggest problems people have with Instagram stories is that creating them takes them out of the moment. So if you have to take out your phone to film something and then you feel like you have to post it immediately, it completely draws you out of the moment. In that moment, being behind your phone is not what you want to be doing, especially for those of us, like I spend quite a lot of time like decorating, making it look nice. I can't be present with the people in my life or like be present in my work day if I'm constantly stopping. Like it just takes up way too much time, right? So keep it to a minimum. Film what needs to be filmed, save it, and then immediately put your phone away. And so I'm going to walk you guys through exactly how to do that. So if you open up Instagram, you'll see right here, this is my Instagram. Can everyone see my screen? Yeah? Cool. So if you open up Instagram, basically what you're going to do is you're going to slide from left to right, right? That's going to bring up your camera. Now, I'll give you another quick tip. I love using Snapchat, but for now, we're just going to do it within Instagram. Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to take a little video. So I'll show you exactly how I do it. I'm actually going to open up Instagram or Snapchat because I prefer Snapchat. Hello, friends. I'm here. I'm currently doing a fun presentation for Jatana Jackson's amazing group of coaches, and I'm walking them through how to use Instagram stories, and we're having so much fun together. Okay, so if I took this and wanted to post it right now, I'd have to be like, okay guys, give me 1 minute, and no. So instead, what you're going to do is, if you're on Snapchat, and by the way, the reason why I like Snapchat better is because on Instagram, if you record longer than 15 seconds, it breaks up your story into like little sections, and then you have to save them individually, and it's so annoying. What I like about Snapchat is that if I go over 15 seconds on Snapchat, it will save it all into one video. And then when I upload it into Instagram, you know, Instagram will let you post up to 60 seconds and it will divide it for you. So instead of me having to press save 4 different times and make sure I get each and every single one, I just press save once on Snapchat. That's the reason why I love it. Okay, so I'm going to press that little, it's like a downward arrow button right there. That's going to save it. You want to wait until it says saved. Cool. Now I'm going to X out of Snapchat. And I'm just going to show you how to do that on Instagram as well. So I'm going to take a selfie. Okay, I took my selfie. And then if you're in Instagram, all you're going to do is you're going to press at the very top right-hand corner, that first icon there. It's an arrow pointing down with an underline. And once you tap on that, right here it says saved, done, right? So it has saved straight to your camera roll. Now what you're going to do is do that throughout the day. So what I will do, what I like to do, guys, is at the beginning of the day, I like to give myself like a theme, right? So I like to think, what's going to be my topic of the day? What am I going to focus on today? What's the value that I'm going to give today? And then throughout my day, turn on the air conditioning. Throughout my day, I will kind of gather different things that are in line with that theme. And then maybe like 3 hours into the day, I'll stop, look at everything that I have, and then decide what I want to upload. And so let me show you how to upload super quickly. You've got your camera here, you're on Instagram stories. If you just swipe up, that's going to bring up your camera roll, right? So from there, I can go in and be like, okay, there's the video, and now I can spend time decorating the video and add it to my story. So that, I would say, is like the #1 tip. Do not upload in the moment. I'd love to know how many of you guys currently upload in the moment. Say yes or no in the comment section. Tia said I use Snapchat to do my recordings. Ashton said, is there a reason not to use your camera or video? Yes. Well, no. So you can use it on your phone if you want. What I love about using Snapchat is, #1, I used to be obsessed with their face filters, but now I'm kind of over their face filters because I feel like it's just a little bit too much. But what I do really like about Snapchat, I'm just going to take a really quick picture, is that I like their first filter. Their first filter just kind of like brightens you up. It adds contrast. And so to me, I don't like the filters on Instagram very much. When you take a video straight from your phone, it doesn't have like the little timer at the bottom. Like, I like to know exactly where I'm at time-wise, and there's no filters that you can add on top of it without like bringing it into another app, right? So I just like using Snapchat, put on that nice little like glowy filter, and then upload it straight onto Instagram. Okay, so we've got a lot of you guys who upload immediately. Jessica said most times. Okay, so yeah, so this is something that you guys can definitely do. Lauren said she doesn't upload, so that's good. Lauren's already doing this. Jatana said unless I'm working out, I save and add later. Perf. Okay, so that's tip #1. Let's move on. Let me share my screen again with you. Okay, so we've been through this. It's easier to tell a story when you're looking backwards at what happened compared to when you're in the moment, okay? So doing this allows you to curate your stories and be a better storyteller while allowing you to fully enjoy your life moments with presence. And so just to let you know, like, I will record many things throughout the day, and I don't post everything. I'm trying to post the things that are going to build the story and tell the story in the smallest amount of time possible. Every single little story that you add, as you know on Instagram, it puts like a bar at the top. You don't want to have a crazy amount of bars at the top. Every single story that you add, you are losing people every single time. You're losing people's attention. So we want to try and fit as much as we can into as short as a period as possible. When you look back over the content, don't forget to curate it to tell the story in as short, as precise, as brand building, and as impactful a way as possible. Get rid of the unnecessary parts until you have exactly what you need, no more, no less. Okay, we're going to move on to the second part of this, which is fail-proof in-app hacks that will introduce you to quick and easy creative ideas to immediately make your stories stand out from the crowd, regardless of your industry. So I actually have all of these things written out here, but I am going to stop sharing my screen because I'm going to walk you through it step by step. Here on my, I don't know why, for some reason, it's not showing me myself. I'm going to see if I can make my camera bigger somehow. That's going to have to do. It might be kind of hard because I'm doing it backwards and my camera's really, really small, but we're going to roll with it. Okay, so the first thing that I want to show you guys, and I'm seeing all of you now, how fun, hi. Okay, so the first thing that I want to show you guys is when you open up Instagram, we got it here, this is the story, right? So you guys can see each other. And basically, what I want to show you is how to basically use the Instagram app to the best of your ability. So the first thing you're going to do is take a selfie. Such a beautiful, blurry selfie. I have to take it again. Okay, right. So we've got the selfie. Awesome. The first thing I want you to do is come up here to the brush tool. You're gonna select the brush tool. And of course I'm doing it backwards, so I accidentally selected the type tool. So you've got your brush tool. At the very bottom, you've got all these different colors. Now, if you tap and hold on any of these colors down here, it is going to bring up a gradient. What's awesome about the gradient is that you can select different colors that are not the default colors, okay? So use this, have fun with different colors. Let's say that you're gonna go with a pink, cool. Ali said, oh my God, I did not know this, awesome. By the way, guys, when you don't know something, let me know, because I'm always so curious to know what you're learning. From there, you can tap and hold the screen. It's gonna turn the whole screen one color. Now, people often ask me, why would you want to turn the whole screen one color? Sometimes I like to just add text, and I don't want anyone to see a picture. So to me, this is just like a really quick and easy way to add a background. Another thing you can do, if you just press undo up here and you select the second option, which is the highlight tool, tap and hold, and it's going to give you like a transparent background, right? And this is really fun because, again, just adding text on top of it. You can take the eraser tool, which is the fourth brush tool. You can adjust the size of your brush here on the left-hand side, going up and down. And then you could be like, I'm gonna draw a heart around my face or something, right? So you can get pretty creative with what you decide to do with the eraser tool and with that kind of like highlighter brush once you fill the whole thing, right? So that's the very first thing that I wanted to show you, is how to turn the entire screen one color. Now, the next thing that I want to show you is how to add a border. I get asked this question all the time. People want to know how to add borders to their Instagram stories, so I'm going to show you. So I love to use the highlighter tool. This is it right here. It's the second tool at the very, very top of your brushes. I like to take this slider on the left-hand side. Depending on the size of your phone, I have an iPhone 8 Plus, and I like to bring it all the way up to the top. If you have the regular sized iPhone or a smaller iPhone, I'd say bring it down a little bit, because the big brush on the small phone tends to take up like a lot of the screen. The important part of adding your border is that you remember to add it on this, or to start on this side of the screen, so on the right hand side, because you can see at the bottom you have all these different colors. On the left hand side you have obviously the slider. At the top you've got the brush options. So if you start over here, it gives you a really clear place to start. And basically what you're going to do, and guys, please bear with me because I'm doing this backwards. What you're going to do is just follow your hand all the way around the screen. Again, I'm probably not doing a very good job of this because I'm doing it backwards. Now it does take practice. Like if I'm doing this just straight up, I can do it in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 seconds and I've got a pretty perfect border, right? Now I want to show you something really cool. I actually have never showed this before, and I'm just in a sharing mood, so I'm gonna share it with you guys. So what you can do, and what I've experimented with, I just recently figured this out myself, is you can create a PNG file. This may be a little next level. I might have to send you a PNG file so that you can put it with this video so that you guys can experiment with this. But basically, it's a PNG file where you have a pink border. You've created a pink border the exact size of an Instagram story, and the background is transparent. That's why it has to be a PNG file. From there, and this, by the way, is like it's in your camera roll. Sorry, it's like very hard to see. So this is in my camera roll. I've created a little camera album called Frames, and I just have one in there right now because, guys, I'm about to launch Project Storyline, and so I've been super busy. But this one, I just wanted to test it out. And so it's just a picture with a border, transparent background. Bottom left-hand corner, you've got that little like rectangle with the plus, with the arrow. Tap that and then press copy. Okay, so you're copying that. You're then bringing it back into Instagram, tapping. Oh, why aren't you working? Tap on, there we go, and then press paste. Okay, so now for those of you who really struggle, you've now got a perfect border that you can just like maneuver it around to get to be your perfect size, and you're done. You don't have to be like fiddling around with whatever. So this is just like a quick and easy hack for those of you who are like, I really want a border, but I'm really not good with my hands on my phone. Create a PNG file. It will save you a lot of time and work wonders. Okay, The next thing that I want to tell you guys is, oh, we got a lot going on in the chat box. We got Whitney who said, wow, I've been living in the Stone Age. Kelly said, I tried, but I just can't do it. What the heck? I guess I'm just not meant to have a border. Maybe I go too fast for my finger sticks and it gets messed up. I'm not giving up though. Oh my God, I need that. I was wondering how you did that story today with the hearts. Can we get a step-by-step of that on paper? So I think what I'll do, guys, is I will send this PNG file to Jitana, and then she can put it wherever this video is going to be, and then you can download it onto your phone and just copy paste it so that you can use it. Maybe I'll even throw in a few different colors because I know not everyone likes pink. Okay. The next thing I want to just remind you guys is that it's so important to even spend like an extra 1%. If you can spend an extra 30 seconds making your story look good, it's going to make a difference. We want people to immediately recognize that this is your story, even if they don't see your face, even if they don't hear your voice, right? So think about, what colors are you using? What are your brand colors? What emojis are you using time and time again? How can we visually communicate to people that this is you without them seeing your face or hearing your voice or seeing your name at the top, right? So what I love to do is add emojis. I think it just makes life so much easier. So if you just tap here, it's going to bring up the text bar. You see that little blue bar there? And then at the very bottom, you're going to open up your emojis. And then you've got all your popular emojis there. So my most used emojis for my brand are the pink heart with the sparkles and then the yellow one. But instead of just putting them there like that, and by the way, guys, you can change your font up here. Oh, there we go. So it's a little bit bigger. Instead of just kind of putting them like that, what I like to do is put them separately, okay? So I'm going to delete this pink one. I'm going to take this, and you can make it smaller, you can make it bigger, you can move it around. I'm going to put it up here, and then I'm going to come back, and I'm going to go back to my emojis, and I'm going to get that pink one. I'm going to press done. It's really weird doing it backwards. And again, I'm going to move it around and put it there. I normally like to have the yellow one on top of the pink one, but I'm kind of struggling right now because I'm doing this backwards. But that sometimes if they're too close together, guys, you need to like separate them to be able to actually get them. There you go. Okay, so I like to kind of put a bunch of emojis and like just have fun with the same emoji so people know that it's me. Okay, so adding emojis, adding a border. Another thing that I like to do is if you grab the brush tool, doing this backwards is like the worst, my fingers are so big, and you grab that third option right there, it's like, I don't know what to call that, I'm just going to call it the third button, the third tool, the third brush tool, and then I'm going to make this super small, this brush size super, super small. I'm going to go and grab my pink color again, pink, and then I'm just going to like add these little fun dots all over, and it just kind of, I'm doing a really bad job right now, but it adds like a sparkly feel. This is something you can do. It does not take that much time, right? Another thing to think about is most people are watching your stories on mute. How many of you guys watch stories on mute? Because I don't watch stories on loud, right? I think probably like 60% of people, we did a poll the other day, 60% of my audience don't listen to the audio. So are you creating captions for people, right? Because if you're not, you should be. Even if you're not like writing everything down word for word, put the gist of what's in your story in text so that if someone's just scrolling through, they're still getting the story. Okay, so I want to show you something about text that not a lot of people know that makes a really big difference. So you are going to tap the little text tool up here. Again, I'm doing this backwards, so it's kind of hard. You're going to type in all of your words, blah, blah, blah. So happy to be here. Okay, cool. So I've typed in all of these words, right? Now at the very top, we have the different fonts. So we can come up here and we can try the different fonts. And then for some of the fonts, you have background options. You can tap this little A up here. And it's going to give you different background options. I'm going to turn this one into a white background. Sometimes when you tap white, it doesn't work. You have to tap another color first and then go to white. I'm trying to make it not overexposed for you. Maybe it's because of the light back there. Okay, then something you can do is like tap and hold, select all, and then be like, okay, I want it to be pink text on top of white. Okay, so we've now got pink on top of white, cool. But what I really want to show you guys today is that if you have the classic text, you have the option to make it bigger or make it smaller, okay? This is something that not many people know about. Makes a really big difference. Oh, geez. Give me the A. There we go. It makes a really big difference in how your text looks. Again, you can choose the different centering or put it to the right. I'm really struggling to do this backwards, but now we've got this centered. And once you're done, press done. And then again, just being able to like make it smaller, move it around, do whatever you want to do to make sure that it is easy for people to see. Okay, cool. So that's pretty much all my tips and tricks for within the app. One last thing just to kind of note, whenever you're asking people to DM you, just get the little brush tool and just point an arrow down, okay? Because the DM button is always down here. So point down so that they know exactly where to send you a DM. Okay, so now let's move on. I want to show you guys my 3, let me see if I can share my screen with you again. Share. Desktop. Here we go. Okay. 3 essential apps that make storytelling way easier and way more impressive and actually save you time. Now, guys, I do, again, have everything kind of written out here, but I think it might just be easier for me to walk you through it. So let's do it. Are you ready? Because I most certainly am. Okay, so the first app that I want to show you is called Cut Story. For those of you guys who, I don't know, sometimes you might like to just go on and on and talk for a very long time, and then your story is way too long, you don't know what to do. I like to use Cut Story. It will divide your story. Instagram will let you post up to a minute. If you try to upload more than a minute, or if you film longer than a minute, it'll show up. It will not post. So please just note, no longer than a minute. That's 4 15-second videos, okay? So the shortest that you want to use Cut Story, and I'm going to show you what it looks like right now. Cut Story looks like this. Okay, so you're going to open up Cut Story, you're going to upload your video there, you're going to go video, whatever your video is. I'm going to try and find a long video now. I normally don't take very long videos, but let's just say we're going to go with this one. Okay, so what you're going to do, and yes, I do take videos of myself working and dancing and singing to Lizzo. So what you're going to do is you're going to press this button down here. It's like a downward arrow with a rectangle. It's going to ask you, how long do you want your video to be? And you're going to say 60 seconds, which I believe is the TikTok length. So you're going to press TikTok, 60 seconds, voila, and it is now going to cut your video into 60-second slots, which essentially means that if you have a 3-minute video, it will cut it down into 60-second slots so that you can then go and upload it onto Instagram. The next thing that I want to share with you, and this one is my favorite app. You're going to have so much fun. You're going to have so much fun with this. It's called InShot, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. That right there, InShots. One word. It's so fun. I'm seeing some of you guys nod. I'm seeing Tia nod. She knows all these. Okay, so you're going to open up InShot, and you are then going to tap video, tap new. It's then going to open up your camera roll. You're going to be like, okay, this is the video that I want to go. Which one should we do? Let's do this one. Once you've selected your video, then you're going to go ahead and you're going to tap the little checkbox down there, bottom right. It's going to upload your video. And what I really like to use this for is a few things. Number one, they have some really cool effects on here. So if you tap filter, it's the 3rd icon. One of the effects that is my most favorite, if you go to effects right here, it's called convex. It's the 3rd option, convex. And basically it just like makes the edges of your, I don't know if you can see this because the light is, this is before and this is after, so it kind of like blurs the edges and it just makes it look, I don't know, it gives like a cool effect that I really like, and it just makes your video sound a little bit more. So if you've done a video and you're like, I want this to be extra special, try convex because I just really like the way that it looks. So that's one thing that you can do. The next thing you can do in here is if you press filter, you got all these different kind of filters down here, guys. Like you can literally turn your entire face pink and purple. You can go yellow if you want. There's like normal ones. There's black and white. You've got all different types of filters. Again, just making your video just stand out a little bit more. But I would say the thing that I probably use this for the most, I don't know if this has ever happened to you guys where you're filming something and like it's perfect, but maybe somewhere in the middle someone swears or like something gets shown that you don't want to be shown and you want to get rid of it, but it's like in the middle of the video. So that is what I use this app for the most. So once you're done with your filters, you're just gonna press that tick box at the right-hand side of the screen, and then you're gonna press trim. Dun, dun, dun. From there, it's gonna give you different options. You can trim, cut, or split. So what I tend to do is I split. So I'm gonna take this like little, you see this white thing here, and you're basically gonna find the exact moment in which you want to split it. Obviously, you're gonna press play and listen to it and find out exactly where that is. From there, you're gonna press this tick box here. So, okay, we've now split it into two. And let's just say that the curse word is at the beginning of this one. From here, I'm gonna press trim again. It's a miracle that I can do this backwards, guys. And then if you know that it's at the beginning of this trim, you're just gonna trim this in. Cool, I got rid of the curse word. And then you press here. And now you have the two videos still saved as one. You come up here to the top right-hand side of the screen. You've got this arrow pointing up, and that's how you're going to save this final epic video. And then you're just going to wait for it to save, and you're welcome. So now if anyone ever swears or, I don't know, something weird happens, you can always edit it out. Because I get asked this question all the time. People are like, how do you edit if you don't have like these fancy editing tools? And this is how I do it. It's really, really easy. Whoop. I lost you guys for a moment, but I'm back. Okay. Okay, so people are saying make it in Canva and save as a PNG. Is Cut Story available for Android? I'm actually not sure. Deborah said I love InShot. Candace said I cuss a lot. I cuss a lot too, but I try to keep it offline because I always think about Oprah, and I love Oprah. She never swears online. Anyway, that's a whole other side note. Kelly said I use InShot, but I've never used it like that. That's a great idea. Awesome. Okay, so that's the second app. So we did Cut Story, we did InShot. The third one that I want to show you guys, you've probably heard of it before because I know y'all Beachbody coaches be on top of your apps. But we've got Unfold. How many of you guys have heard of Unfold before? Yep, I'm seeing some hands. I'm seeing Tia. Okay, so you're gonna open up Unfold. I really like Unfold as a way, so you can use it to create templates, which is very cool. So basically, this is what the app looks like. You're gonna press this plus button down here. It's gonna say, do you want to create a new story? You say yes. From there, you're going to tap on your new story. At the very bottom, it's going to plus button again. You've got all these different templates down here, right? But how I like to use it, guys, is not the average way, because y'all know I don't do anything basic. How I like to use it is like video style, right? So not only do yes, I will use it as like having two pictures in one page, but what I really like and what would be fun for you guys is to like, so I was on a run once, and I filmed myself from the front running, and then I filmed myself from the top running so you can see my feet, and then I superimposed them together into one InShot, or sorry, into one Unfold. Oh my gosh, they all have such similar names as well. So that it basically looked like I was filming both at the same time. And so many people messaged me and they were like, how did you film that? And I'm like, guys, it's two separate videos, obviously. But I'm gonna show you the key here, okay? So let's say that this is the template that you use. You're going to tap here. It's going to open up your camera roll. You're going to pick the two videos, 1, 2, then up here, top right, you're going to press done. Oh, I feel like I deserve an award for doing this backwards. You can then tap and like drag it around. So like I move this down so you can see my face. Now this is where it gets really important. Number one, you need to mute one of the videos, because if you have the sound from two videos, it's going to be very clear that they were not taken at the same time. So in order to do that, there's a little, I don't know if you can see it, but there's like a little sound icon at the bottom, right? So you're going to tap on that little sound icon until it looks like a mute icon. So now I know the top one is muted, the bottom one is not muted. Also, very important, they should be similar in length. Because what Unfold weirdly does is that it'll just keep replaying and replaying and replaying and replaying. So what I like to do is on the other side at the very bottom, you're going to tap that little like circular arrow thing. And once you've tapped it once, I don't know if you can see that, but it comes up with a little 1. That basically means that it's only going to play once, which is what we want, right? So it's only playing once. Cool. Once you've done that, you're going to save it. So again, top right-hand side, that downward arrow pointing into like an underline, you're going to tap on that. It's going to ask you, how would you like to save this? You're going to put to my device. It's now going to save to my device. And for those of you who have iPhone users, what I like to do, that made no sense. For those of you who are iPhone users, what I like to do then is open it up in my camera roll, and then I just watch it through to see like when the first one stops. So you can see the bottom one stops really early and the top one keeps going. That's not what we want. We want it to stop like right when the bottom one stops. So what I will do, is press edit at the very top right hand side. It says edit, and then you're just going to drag the end here until you see the bottom. I don't know if you guys can see this, the little corner thing down here. You're dragging it in until you see the bottom one start moving. Hello, hello. There we go. Okay, so now I've seen the bottom one move. It stopped. I'm going to try and get it in as close as I can, and then I'm going to press done. And so essentially, save as a new clip. What that does is it makes sure that both are moving at the same time and one is not moving when the other one is still, because that would look weird. Okay, so let's move on. Let's move on. Let me share my screen with you again. Let's move swiftly onwards and upwards. Oh, now my screen is going slow. Okay, 4, how to quickly and easily improve the quality of your Instagram stories with just a few more steps, okay? So this is quite intermediate, but I'm gonna walk you guys through it anyway. So the first thing you're gonna do is you're gonna take a bunch of videos. Then you're gonna open up the InShot app. The InShot app is the same app that I just showed you. It's the red app. And basically what I like to do is add all of the videos that I want to add. So I normally do this if I'm like on a travel vacation somewhere and I want to do like a compilation video. I will add all the different videos and I will edit them all within the actual app, right? So once you've added all the videos, you can tap on them to edit them individually. That's where I trim the videos to my liking. You can play around with the transition tool for an impressive look. So they have different transitions. So from one video to the next video, it can like shake in or like twist in, and it's really cool. They've got lots of cool transitions that will catch people's attention. And then when you're done, do not forget to press save, okay? So what's also cool about InShot that I actually haven't included here is that within InShot, you can add music. And they actually have their own library of music there where you can go and add whatever it is that you want. So add music, you can add text, you can add GIFs, you can add effects. Like when I traveled to South Africa, made this long, beautiful, if I may say so myself, video. And it was all done in InShot. And everyone thought I had done it on my computer, but alas, I had not. Okay, last but not least, this is my last and final tip of the day before we jump into Q&A. Let me share my screen with you one more time. The one simple change that you can make that will instantly increase your story views, get ready. It's really simple. I'm just asking you to add a ring around your profile picture so that it stands out throughout Instagram, right? So I've put some examples here for you to see. The first row here, you'll see that Alex Beadon has nothing around it. The second one, I added like a pink border. And on the third one, I added a white border and then a pink border. So what I recommend people do is don't just add a color border, because you'll see the one that stands out the most is the one at the bottom. So to do that, you essentially need to have a white border and then a colored border. And then when you add a story, the extra border will come around. So it looks like you have 2 circles, right? So here's how to do it in Photoshop, but you can do the same process in any editing software. You're basically just going to put a white empty circle around your face and then a pink or whatever color circle around your face and save it like that, and you are good to go, okay? And the reason why this works is because honestly, it just stands out more. More people are going to click because of this. It's a great way to get people to initially engage with your stories more often, but I'm gonna let you know, don't do this until you are ready with your top quality Instagram story content, because more people are gonna be watching you and you better be ready for their eyes, so be doing things that are gonna impress them, okay? This is not a good long-term strategy. It's important to rely on the depth of your storytelling versus tactics like this, but I will say that this is it's just a fun way. If you're doing a promotion or a launch or anything special, do this. Okay, so I want to recap what you guys have learned so far. You've learned how to create great Instagram stories without it taking over your life by filming them in advance, posting them with 10% extra effort, and then engaging with people who watch your stories. We spoke about my fail-proof in-app hacks that help you get the most out of Instagram without ever leaving the app, how to create an instant background, how to add a border, other decorative styles. You discover the 3 essential apps that make storytelling way easier and way more impressive. You learn how to quickly and easily improve the quality of your Instagram stories with just a few more steps. And you learn the one simple change you can make to instantly increase your story views. Now, before we jump into the live Q&A, because I'm really excited to take all of your questions, what I do want to encourage you guys to do is I am hosting a free Instagram story engagement challenge this Monday. Like, this call could not have come at a better time, and it's all about engagement. So while today I really focus on like the visuals of your story and like how little tips and tricks here and there, how to like speed things up, the double down in your DMs challenge on Monday is all about how to get more engagement. And the way that it works is that every single day for 5 days, Monday through Friday, I'm giving you an Instagram story prompt so that you know exactly what to post to your Instagram stories on that day. Thousands of entrepreneurs from all over the world and tons of people in Beachbody as well have already signed up. We're all getting started on Monday. So if you guys are interested in that, go to doubledownwithalex.com and you can sign up 100% for free. Every time I do this, it is game changing for people. And I'm not even just saying that because it's my own challenge. Like, we have people get more sales. We have people triple their story views. We have people get way more followers. We have a Facebook group that's just like bubbling with participation, and it's just so much fun. And I really like to pride myself on these epic online experiences. This is not one of those things that you're going to sign up for and be like, man, it was okay. Like, I am so dedicated to creating massive transformation through Instagram stories. So if you're interested, like I said, doubledownwithalex.com. And we've already got Ashton who signed up and Candace who signed up, which is awesome. So yeah, now I'm ready for your stories. I'm going to go ahead and leave the link there, doubledownwithalex.com. It's also in my bio. Now let's jump into your questions. If you have any, hit me. Okay, Kelly said, how did you add the flying hearts and GIFs onto your stories? I know you said that this happened yesterday. And I'm not very good at remembering every single story that I do, but I'm pretty sure, yes. If you go onto Snapchat, right? And if you scroll over to this one, then essentially what it does is it gives you some glasses and it puts hearts all around you, right? So that's how I did the hearts yesterday. Now, when it comes to animations, what I tend to do is just add GIFs. I add GIFs like you wouldn't believe. And I like to add GIFs as well that, you know, you can come up here to the stickers bar, right? And you can tap here. Oh geez, doing this backwards is like near impossible. You tap on the stickers bar and then you tap on GIFs right here, GIF. Dun, dun, dun. What I like to do, instead of just like searching through here, I like to come up here to the search tool and type in like really weird random things like sparkles. I'm addicted to sparkles on Instagram stories lately. And especially if you type in white sparkles, because I don't know, I just think when it's all one color, it looks really good. And then you come up with like all of these different things here. And then you can scroll down until you see one and you're like, oh, this one's really good. And then you can add it like, this one's cute. And then you can move it around and add it to wherever you want. Kelly said it was a sticker, but it was flying around behind your head. It's not there anymore. I'm actually not quite sure which one you're talking about, but I'm gonna go and check. Was it yesterday?
I don't know if it was yesterday because it's not there anymore. So I'm assuming it was from the day before, but it was the pink heart emoji with like the yellow little star on it. And it was like floating and soaring behind your head. And it was like orange. Yes, that one. How did you do that? I'm like, I know I saw it.
It's just a filter. It's just a filter on Instagram. So let me see if I can find, it's this one with the D.
Oh, well, that was easier than I thought it would be.
And it's so cool. It's just, it makes you look like you're just floating in emojis. It's like the Alex Beadon filter. I love it. Hopefully that helped. Hopefully that answered your question. Do we have any more questions? Y'all are really very silent on the question front.
No, I'm looking for that that emoji or that filter on my IG.
Everyone's like, where is the filter? I must
I
find
didn't
it.
realize you can buy more filters on IG as well. Or not buy
Yeah,
them.
there's so many filters. If you scroll all the way to the very, very back.
Yeah. There's like add more and then you can click.
Yeah.
Well, I
There's-
wanted to know, like, how many, like, slides do you think, like, a story, because sometimes I just start rambling and I get excited and I'm just like, blah, 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 blah. So, well, how many? 'Cause I
If
feel like
you, yeah, you go ahead.
no, you lose, I feel like I lose people because I'm just like,
I think as long as you are being as concise as possible, you're good. So what I like to do is before I go just like rambling on Instagram stories, I will get a pen and paper, or like I'll open up the notes on my phone and I will outline exactly what I want to say, just to make sure that I'm not wasting anyone's time, that I'm not repeating myself. Because I don't know, sometimes when you're like recording yourself, you get quite hypnotized. And then you're just like rambling and going on and on and on. So I would say like try bulleting it out and challenging yourself to keep it as short as possible. When it comes to the entire day, I'm such a fan of people who post all day long. I'm on Instagram all day long. And so for me, when I see my favorite Instagram story people and there's something new to watch, I'm like, yes, I'm such an addict. So I think as long as you're creating good content, like it doesn't really matter how many you're posting, as long as it's telling a story and as long as it's brand building and adding value.
okay, and I do cuss a lot.
You do
She cusses a
I
lot.
cuss
But
a lot
I
in
was
front of
about to say, you know, Candace, your brand is you. I mean, like you are. I've talked about you multiple times with people. I will be. This is about thing about Candace, and she's still refining herself. But I tell people about you. I'm like, have you watched my girl Candace? She's freaking hilarious. You say things, and I'm surprised you don't have like somebody calling the police on you, but you say things that like every mom thinks, but would never say out loud. So you're like
asshole, calling my toddler an asshole.
yes. So you're super unfiltered, and that's part of your brand. Now, how to figure out how to like zone it in and figure out how to make that into sales, that's going to be the piece. I mean, you got your brand piece of it and your personality of who you are, and Stella's a part of your brand as well, and Steve and like we know your people, right? Trying to figure out how to make that also into converting into what does it have to do with your workouts? What does it have to do with your challenge groups? How are you signing coaches through that? Like, are you attracting like-minded girls who want, like, appreciate your humor?
Yeah. No, you know what? The girl I just signed 2 weeks ago, she said she signed up with me because she remembers 9 months ago when Stella was saying, I'm so pissed off at you, Mommy. And she said it made her day and made her laugh, and she loves how I am. But then I also get messages saying I'm a bad parent and I shouldn't listen to rap music and let my kids, you know. But, you know, she does go to Catholic school, so that makes up for some of it.
You just remind me of a comedian that just has no filter. Like, people that watch you have to notice what they're getting.
I don't.
There's a question on there. Ashton asked how do you keep Instagram from blocking your story with adding music? I've used music since day one. I always use either IG Music because obviously they're approving it, or I have to speed it up to 1 1/4. Otherwise, you will get blocked. That's just my quick answer. I don't know if you have another.
Yeah, it seems to be very hit or miss as well. Like, and Instagram is very moody with what they allow some people to do and what they don't allow other people to do. So experiment and see what works for your accounts. Cross your fingers and hope for the best.
It's so funny, the double circle thing. I was going to say that if it wasn't in the presentation. I asked you, I don't know if you remember, it was like somebody's unmuted, I think, and that's why it's scratchy, but I asked you like in 2017.
Yes!
And you sent me the image, and I was like, this is awesome, and everybody in Beachbody has been double circling everything, so. That came from Alex.
That's amazing.
I still have that file you sent me. Thank you. What questions do you guys have? Any questions?
Y'all are seeming good on the question front. Oh, I'm seeing Lauren. She's reaching for the keyboard. Maybe she's writing a question.
Well, I want to know, like, how would you suggest targeting like new followers?
So what has worked best for me, to be quite honest with you, is using ads. And I speak to people, especially influencers, who are really obsessed with getting more followers, because there's a difference if you're like a business owner versus an influencer. And even spending like a few dollars a week on just boosting your posts is something that I want to start doing more of, because I noticed that Instagram's a game, right? So like, if you want to attract more people, you ultimately have to play the game. And it's about how much time do you spend on Instagram? How much time do you spend interacting on Instagram? I think that's the biggest thing people mess up. How many of us are on Instagram 24/7 and don't reply to anyone and don't comment on anyone's stuff, and we're just like silently lurking? Instagram's watching that. Instagram is judging you based on certain little things. How often are you replying to other people? What your content, how long does it keep people on Instagram for? So I try not to get like over obsessed by that, because it can literally consume your life. But at the same time, if I know that Instagram's gonna like me because I'm spending a little bit of extra money, and if I know that it's gonna bring me some more high quality followers and leads, then I'm cool with that. As business owners, I think we should be more focused on leads. And I think it's different with Beachbody. I'm not a super big Beachbody expert, but leads are where it's at, right? For me, like, I want high quality leads. I want people who are going to follow me, not just like grow the number, but also one day become clients. And so for me, what it really comes down to is creating high quality content, not just on Instagram stories. I think Instagram stories is great. Build your brand. It's a great daily long-term strategy. But my question would be like, what's the next level of that for you? So for me, I have my podcast. So that is like a hardcore, legit, long-term place that I can send people and be like, go listen to episode 44 if you want to learn how to manifest $100,000. Go listen to episode whatever, right? I feel like you should have something like that, whether it's like an email list or a YouTube channel, or even if you use your Instagram account as your place where you're constantly giving value. We want to be known for something. Like, you should be known for something. You should have like a solid kind of place in the industry. And so for you, like, it might have something to do with being a mother, right? Like, I just heard you speak about like being a mom and like talking about what it's like being a mom. And that can be such a solid part of your brand that you can mix into the type of content that's about having and leading a healthy lifestyle. But I think having solid pieces of content is a must, because when people come, they want to binge watch, right? When people come to me, I get so many people who are like, oh my God, I found your podcast and I listened to all the episodes and now I've run out, and I'm like, now I have to just wait once a week, right? So how are you allowing people to fall in love with you? How are you encouraging people to get obsessed with you?
Oh, I should totally do a podcast and get drunk once a week.
I like this plan.
With other moms. I would be saying all kinds of shit. But no,
I would totally watch that. Totally.
I want to know, like, I never post on, like, I hardly post on my Instagram page because I talk and I don't know how to put it into words.
So just record yourself.
And then type it?
No, just like, make a video. Don't even type it. If you hate writing, record a video of yourself and post it on Instagram. Done. Like,
on my story or on my page?
On your page.
Oh, really? Okay.
If you have a topic, and I would even say, like, depends on how long you can ramble for. If it's like more than a minute, then you're gonna have to move it into IGTV. But IGTV now allows you to post to your page. Watch this space, because over the next few months, I just hired a videographer. I'm hopefully gonna be like transforming my Instagram presence, because right now I'm killing it on Instagram stories. But I really want to take it to the next level with like IGTV and my feed. If you can post videos onto IGTV, no one's doing that right now. I'm sure that you're I've only known you for a short period of time, and you seem like quite the character. You know, so use that space, but use it wisely, use it strategically. Know that you need to be positioning yourself as an authority. Yes, you can have a personality, and like, yes, that your personality is going to be why people buy from you at the end of the day, but you need to be showing people why they should care about you, why they should follow you. Like, what are you bringing to their lives? How are you changing their lives?
I concur on the IGTV. Like, it's been out there for a while and not a lot of people are using it because I think it's intimidating to make video that you can't edit and you just got to put it out there. But it's definitely the way of the future. IG is going to reward you for utilizing our tools. And another thing that I listened to Gary Vee, and he's like, listen, y'all, Snapchat, Facebook, Snapchat, Instagram, guess what the next thing is? TikTok. And I'm like, what? TikTok? No, my like 11-year-old niece uses TikTok. Yep, that's the next thing. So I'm already like, all right, what is this? I need to figure it out. So, I mean, it
awesome.
But we all thought Instagram was kind of like, it's boring, and here we are. So.
Here we are. Ashley said, what app did y'all use to do the circle? So I use Photoshop, but everyone uses different things. I don't know what you guys have been recommending people to use, but pretty much any app that you can create an empty circle with a border, you'll be good to go. And pretty much all apps have that. I actually just downloaded TikTok for the first time like 2 months ago. And I used it on the first day and I was like, man, I just closed it and haven't opened it back since. I've been hearing it so much since then. I'm like, I gotta get on it. Kelly said that you can use Canva. That's how she made hers.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, if Gary Vee's saying it, I'm doing it. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it. All right, well, it is getting late. It's 10:17 here on the East Coast. Alex, you've been amazing. Thank you so much for being willing to share your wisdom and your personality with us. If you guys could go sign up for her free, it's an Instagram
challenge. Yeah, Instagram story engagement challenge every day. I'm gonna tell you exactly what to post, and it's gonna be transformative. It'll help you get so much more clarity on your brand and how you show up on Instagram stories.
Love it, love it. Well, you guys go give her some love on IG. Thank you so much, Alex. You guys have an awesome evening. Good night.
Bye, guys.
Bye.